So, in this video, I never explained it like this before, bro. Ever. So, we're going to talk about why your biggest haters are in shambles because of your absence, because you're not around them no more. You get more distant as the days go on when it comes to people you probably used to get around that have become haters. And the reason they're in complete shambles right now and they're going crazy is because they know deep down inside that you are on the right path. You are on the pathway to success. You're on the pathway to becoming the best version of yourself. You're not the type to let life just go by. You are becoming, you are improving. That is all that matters. It's not a race. You're just improving. That's what matters. That's all you can do is improve every day. You can't change your life overnight. You can't. It's about small improvements every single day. You have to keep building off of that. Day by day by day. This is what has your biggest haters in shambles. Your absence from them means you're focused. You being focused means you're becoming successful. You becoming successful haunts their dreams. It haunts them. And what's going to happen is they're going to start to project even harder and harder and harder onto you. Because you're focused. They don't want you to be focused. They're going to have negative things to say about you. They're going to try to do all this stuff because you're better than them. And it's not a competition, but you are doing you better than they are doing them better. That's what it comes down to. It's not that you can run faster than them, you're stronger than them, you're this than them. You're just better at being you than they are at being them. They don't like that at all. They feel inferior to you because you're more focused, you're more talented. You have put in more work. You have developed yourself better. And they have fallen in their own shit. They slipped on a banana peeling. Just like the Mario Kart game. Mario Kart racing. They hit the banana peeling. You're still going to the finish line. Bowser is pissed. He's furious. And you're just still cruising along. Dipping and dodging. Weaving and bobbing. They be hitting banana peelings, bro. Crashing off the course. You're still on course. You're still doing what you do. Because you knew there's going to be some dangerous things thrown onto this course. You knew what life's about. You know the tests. Like a bird just hit the window. Your absence means success, bro. That's what this comes down to. That's why they end up with their panties in a knot. All riled up. Furious. Because you're doing you. You're focused. You're living it up. And they just can't seem to do that. So they're going to put their energy into trying to do something crazy to you. And you just remain focused. You remain unfazed. You remain focused at the tasks at hand. Which means you're leveling up. How do you cook an amazing soup? Let's say a seafood chowder. You do this by putting a lot of time and energy and effort into doing so. You use the right sauces, you use the right spices, you put in the right ingredients. You spend time cooking your stew. Because if you don't, it's not going to taste the greatest. But you put a lot of time and effort into making that. So it's going to be in an unreal one. You're not around everybody else when you're doing it. Everybody else is clowning around the house doing whatever, and you're focused on making that. So it's just an example, but it's what happens. It's what it is. You're focused on the recipe. They're focused on disaster. I know what it's like to focus on disaster. I know what it's like to do things that are just, you do whatever. And I know what it's like to focus on the recipe. They don't even know what recipe to focus on. That's their own problem. They don't want to find out enough. That's the first step, is you have to want to. Like, if you don't want to, if you don't want to, then what are you going to do? You have to find the recipe and then focus on the recipe. That's what most people in the world don't want you to do, which is crazy. But this is the clown world we're in. When you're a focused individual, you're going to get a lot of hate. Nothing you can do besides continuously focusing on the recipe. Building it greater, building it stronger. Your absence, once again, has them in shambles. Your success breaks the phony spirits of your haters. It breaks them bit by bit. They spend more time and energy trying to tear you down than putting that energy into their own life, into a gym, into their health, into their fitness, into a business, into whatever it might be. That is a recipe for disaster. Most people is focused on the disaster. You have to focus on self. You have to focus on the recipe. You have to know what you're doing. You have to set the blueprint. And you're not just going to get a blueprint or a recipe overnight. It has to be made first. The recipe has to be written down first to perfection. So you focus on getting things together. You focus on yourself. You focus on getting in the gym. You focus on your health and fitness. You focus on everything that's going to build you up. That's how the recipe starts to come together. And then when it comes together, you got a full recipe, and then you follow the recipe. And then you build that. So you don't just build out of nothing. You become something, and then you build. You build yourself, like, it's all about building phases. There's some younger people right now. You are in no position to just start doing something spectacular. You're not ready for that yet. You have to build yourself greater first. You have to get more disciplined. You have to get more serious about yourself and understand that who you are right now is not good enough. But at the same time, you're good enough as you exist, but you have to be better tomorrow. That's a better way of looking at it than what I just said, to be honest. You're good enough as you exist, but you can't just keep being that. So it might be a better mindset to, you know what, I ain't good enough. I have to get better. Because that's probably going to drive you further than anything else. The mindset I had, bro, and I'm just being real. The mindset I've always had, I know I'm this shit. I know I can do anything. I know how good I am. I don't feel a lack of confidence. I don't feel I can't do this, or I'm not good enough to, I fucking do anything. I can do fucking anything. Anything. I can do it. And then you go for things. But some people really feel, I ain't good enough to do this. I can't do this. Well, that's the whole, like, that means you're really far behind. And it doesn't have to end that way. But you have to put in a lot of work right now on yourself. Some people, bro, they don't even feel good enough to start something. It's like, I want to do this, but I can't, or I just can't do this, or I just can't do that. Like, the reason why you have thoughts of wanting to do things, but it's like you can't, is because you're actually not good enough to even start right now, and you know that deep down inside. That means you have to work on yourself. That means maybe get in the gym. Gain some more swagger, gain some more confidence. Get healthier, get fitter. Get wiser, gain more knowledge, gain more experience, because experience is even more powerful than knowledge itself. And both is a deadly combination. Like, you're not going to know about anything if you don't experience stuff yourself. Like, you have to have some experiences yourself. You have to. You don't know how dangerous something is until you really do it yourself. Like, it's the same thing with fighting. Like, you could think whatever you want about fighting. There's a lot of internet trolls. There's a lot of idiots today. They really think, bro, they could walk in and fight some pro fighter. But you don't know until you know. And some people have a bit of common sense. Like, yeah, I probably can't beat a pro fighter right now. But maybe I could if I put in the time and effort and all that work. It's about being on point mentally. That's what it's about. So, the advice I have for people who you have thoughts of wanting to do things, but it's like you just can't do it right now, you got to build yourself first. It's like, these people want the recipe, but the recipe's not built. So if you're just trying to like make a recipe, but you don't have the recipe, it's going to taste like shit. Like, let's say like a stew. You want to make the stew right now, but you don't even have the right recipe. So it's going to taste horrible. It ain't going to be right. You have to put in the time first to get the information so you can actually make it. And even if you have the information, it's still not going to be easy. So you have to really know what you're doing. You might mess up a couple until you get it right. This comes with time. This comes with patience. This comes with perseverance. It's about what you put your time into is what's going to ultimately matter at the end of the day, folks. That's what's going to create things. That's what's going to move mountains. And like I said, bro, when you get on the right agenda, when you get on the right, you set this agenda out for yourself. You're going to get healthier. You're going to get fitter. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You have this blueprint and you know certain things what you want to do. And when you start to get really focused on those things, you become absent to more mindless things. You're going to have a whole lot of haters, bro. In shambles. They're going to be furious. It could be people closest to you. It could be anybody. Most likely it will be people closest to you. Because you're killing off a version of yourself that they are used to seeing. So you're basically killing a person they might have been attached to become who you're supposed to become, because everything in life changes. They want to stay the same, you don't. That's their problem. They don't want to grow with you. They don't want to grow themselves. They become toxic. Like, there's a point when you're a kid where you're not really focused on growth. Like, yes, but no, you know what I mean? Like, you learn basics, you learn math, you learn how to read, write, all those fundamentals. Learn how to tie your damn shoes when you're in grade 1, like whatever. You're growing to a degree, but it's like when you become an adult, bro, you're growing to a whole other degree. And it never stops. It never stops. Like, it becomes hardest. Like, you can kind of get away when you're a kid with not like wanting to grow so urgently. But like as an adult, you have to have a sense of urgency. Like, if you want to be great. Because you're not going to get by just wanting to learn something every 6 months. You have to be in it to win it. You have to be locked in. And when you're locked in, and you become absent to people who want to stay kids and learn something every 6 months, they're going to turn into haters. And you're a man or a woman on a mission. That's the cutoff. That's the difference. That's why you don't get much hate like when you're young. There might be a little bit of something here and there, but it's like, it's a whole other degree of hate, bro. Like, when you become an adult. Because some people sink and some people swim. When you decide to swim, and a lot of people sinking, it's going to make them very hateful and spiteful of you. But when you're a kid, everyone's kind of just similar and no one's focused on that. People just want to have a good time and all this stuff, and things change pretty quick when you become an adult. Changes pretty quick. So, this is why your absence will have people in shambles. I have seen it firsthand. This is real life shit, and that's all I speak on this channel is real life shit. This shit is for real. This shit happens. How many of you have experienced this? How many of you at one point have decided to get super focused and disciplined when it comes to certain things? And all of a sudden, the people around you start acting real funny. The thing is, they're not accepting of you. Like, they don't understand. Like, they don't understand. It's like their brains aren't even big enough to understand what you're even doing. It's like, oh my God, you want to be a real human? Oh my God, you want to keep growing? Oh my God, you want to be successful? And oh my God. Yeah. 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 What do you think this is? They expect you to just be small. They expect you to just fit their narrative. And when you don't, they turn into a hater. What can you do? Keep doing your best. People's going to come, people's going to go. A lot of people's going to fall off. You're going to rise to the levels you're going to rise to. This is why when you become absent to these individuals and more present to your own self and your own life and your own focuses, it becomes a bit of an issue. And it's just what comes with it. You just got to know how to handle these things and keep pressing it forward is all it comes down to. Some people even get real evil towards you, bro. Some people's going to really try to make your life an ever-living hell, which is crazy. I've had it happen to me. I've had a lot of people have that type of energy towards me, and it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. They don't want to, like, accept you, right? They don't want to accept that you're going to go on. Like, it's like becoming a doctor. It's like they don't want to accept that you're going to become a doctor. It's like, oh my God, the guy we grew up with, the person we were friends with, oh my God, he's going to become a doctor. Let's just turn our backs on him and not accept and be happy for him. Like, this is what it is. We're not doing anything wrong. We're literally becoming like who God put us on earth to be. The thing is, guys, they are not. They are not, but we are. It's their fault they don't want to accept this. We don't even have to be like close, but you can accept it and have some respect for me or for any of you or for any of us. But they can't. I can accept and respect that you want to go and become an electrician, a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, whatever you want to be. The next Hugh Hefner, I can respect it. But when it comes to us, F that guy, man. Look at him. It's all you hear from them is moaning and groaning and hate and envy and everything else. And it's like we become even much better people, even at heart, than we ever were. Like, we're better people and they're hating us more. Something ain't adding up. Yeah, this is what the world is like. Because a lot of people today are just failing. And it's like they're choosing to. When you fail, you have chose to fail. Failure is only final if you have chose that. A lot of people have chose that, guys. They're not fighting for anything. You have to get up and you have to fight for something. That is what winning is. You can decide to win. You can decide to lose. You can choose to fail. You can choose to win. Winning is a forward-going motion, and it's like you continue to get up and fight every day for something. They don't want to do that. And the fact that you're doing it, it makes them the way they are towards you. You become more absent towards them. They are flailing around, bro, in shambles. They have this narrative of a bunch of BS that they make up in their heads, this big narrative. But it's like you could look at them just as you always have and have respect for them. It's just the fact that you have chose to do what you're doing with your life. They have a problem with it. They have an issue with it. And that's the thing. Those people, bro, have to be cut off for life most of the time. The odd time a person like that, maybe when you're a bit younger in your early 20s or something, and people might be that way towards you, if there's a chance one day they could grow up, there's a chance they could. But even then, should you take them back? That's up to yourself. And when I say take them back, be cordial with them and stuff like this. Like, there's people that hated me, that hated on me in the past. And I've had conversations with them when I've seen them in person. Like, that happened a few times. And one guy specifically, he definitely matured. And he was a different person than he was. Like, we used to be really cool. We used to be friends. And then there came to that point where it ended up not good. But then, years and years and years later, let's say it had to have been 8 years. 8 years? 6 or 7? People can change a lot, bro, in 6, 7, 8 year time. And this guy definitely made some changes, and he had none of that energy at all, and it was actually great. Like, it's great to see that. We don't want to be, no one wants to be hated on. Nobody wants to have this bad energy coming their way. It's just what comes with it sometimes, bro. It's just what comes with it sometimes. And I'm making this video because it's the truth. And people can change, and that's great when they do. But some people ain't never gonna, bro. They're always gonna be that kind of way towards you, and it's unfortunate. But life goes on. Life continues on for all of us, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do. We're not, our purpose don't stop for nobody, bro. Like, we're gonna keep going, doing what we do. And that's it. So, yeah. Your absence will have these people in shambles. You used to be the person that was in school and hanging with everybody else, and all of a sudden, you're not doing that no more. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on the recipe. You become professional. And people who don't come professional, when you come professional, that's when they get mad. Because they're amateurs, you're a professional. Voila.